welcome back. Today we will be discussing Clockwork, the creepypasta. Her name is also known as Natalie before she was Clockwork. Let's get into it. So she had a normal childhood until her father said he hated her and his children and fought with her mother before beating her for drawing on the walls. At a young age, approximately 9, she was abused more, and her dad yelled about the smallest things. Her big brother started to sexually abuse her, and it is suggested this went on for 4 years. She tried to talk to a girl about her class about it, and instead the girl spread gossip about it. She is now 16 and very passionate drawing. After being told your time is up on a test during literature, she didn't feel the need to struggle with her life anymore. She felt at peace and started drawing heavy gore. After a breakup, she, in a rage and sadness, carved her face and sewed it into a smile due to stress. Her mom found her and cried. Soon after realizing what she was doing to herself and her mom, she got into therapy and never took out her stitches. After, she then started insulted her therapist by calling her Blondie. She also proclaimed that Natalie is not here. Then she had a nightmare where a voice told her her time is up. When she woke up, she found herself in an operating room. The head doctor was telling her she will get mental drugs. Her parents asked, and an anesthetic mask was put on her, and sooner or later, the unwanted surgery started. Soon, she woke up in the middle of the surgery. She saw that she was drugged up and had an unknown substance being rubbed into her skin. She could move and respond unlike normal humans that undergo this treatment. The doctor saw her heart spike, and she ripped off all the medical bonds and tubes and the mask. Sitting on the bed, the doctors quickly fled to the other part of the room. However, she simply sat on the bed's edge and jumped to the doctors, laughing and shaking after she passed out and coughed up blood with no reason known. After she woke, the doctor said the surgery was failed due to her waking up, and the surgery was botched, and hang on. This is very small handwriting at the bottom. I apologize. Can you see that? Very small handwriting. So I wrote the bottom text. Alrighty. They would watch her to see how the surgery went afterwards, but when it comes down to it, the doctors also said her appearance changed. She looked in the mirror and she saw her once brown eyes were green, but her stitches were still there. That she used as a reason to be happy. One moment. Is it this one? Yes. She'll just have to rest, they said. But she used to be happy about her appearance. She didn't enjoy the change, but she took it as a way to move on. Then she stood over the doctors. Your time is up. She is obsessed with time, by the way. It's her whole little slogan. The two guards hear his screams and rasps from the other room and run to find the doctor strapped down and folded in half. Like this. His spine was definitely broken, and there was Natalie, sat down and drawing on the wall with his blood as the ink, asking the guards if they want to join her. The guards aim their guns, but she attacks one of them, and she takes the knife and stabs him, pushing it through the bulletproof vest that he was wearing. The other one drops his gun, and she walks up to him and slices from his chest to his midriff. He falls, soon dying from the wound, his organs splattered onto the once sterile tiled floor. After, she walked home during a thunderstorm and knocked on the door. Her tired mother opened the door, showing her the horror called her daughter. She barely even recognized her. Natalie laughed as her mom falls backwards, hitting her head and getting a shock from her bloody daughter with 2 knives. She then hits her head from the fall and bleeds out quickly. However, Natalie isn't happy with this. She sits on her mother's lap and cuts a Y incision on her chest to gut and peeled it all back till she grabbed her mom's heart and squeezed until it popped and gently spoke into her mom's ear. "Your time is up. Sweet dreams." She then pulled her mom's heart into her mom's mouth and walked to her dad's room, laughing. Her father was awoken by the noises and seeing his daughter covered in blood. He grabbed her throat, alarmed and unable to recognize her as his daughter. He then threw her to the floor as he stomped on her chest. She coughed up blood and tripped her father the moment he tried to step away. After she tripped him and he fell, she said he was not her father in a fit of rage. I will now refer to him as David instead of father. When David was down, she attacked him, full of rage from her past and new betrayals from all the people around her. Her mom, for her helping her never when she needed it. Her brother for all the sexual abuse, and David for all the abuse and all the trauma she had to endure for years without being able to do anything. She grabbed a nearby pillow from David's bed, sat on his chest and grabbed his arms, placing them above his head, quickly smothering him with the pillow. And once he stopped squirming for a moment, she stood up and stomped his face in the pillow, tried to soften the blows, but she soon kicked it off and stomped his face and neck until they were mushed together. As he screams and cries in a horrid shriek, she stabbed his stomach and sat on it, forcing his inside, bone, guts, and galore to the air of the cold home, to the smell that mixed with the scent of her mom's from down the stairs. After he got a wooden pole from the side of the bed and said, "Your time's up, Daddy." She then pushed it on his stomach until the guts flood out of his mouth and kill him by blood loss and his jaw breaking. She walked out, closed the door, and decided to finish off the family. She walks down the hall, not laughing, but excited, shaking, bloody, and thinking of all the things to do. She then opens her brother's bedroom door, thinking he was in bed. She was shocked to see that when the lights were off, he was not in his bed sleeping. He jumped out from the closet and hit her right in the back of the head with a baseball bat, hitting her twice before stopping, scared and winded from using all his force. Natalie was truly weak from the hits, the blows, and how much effort she used to take down the family. But as she stared at the ceiling, remembering all the pain, the abuse, the trauma, the lies, the years of pain, she stood up, and with a rush of power, laughing as she blocked the next hit with her knives, then promised him he was going to hell for what he's done. She then threw him into a wall, and she jumped quickly out of his reach as he tried to grab her. She pushed him once more into the wall and grabbed a butter knife. She then used it to pin him to the wall. Her knife was the same thing that she used to stab her father. She stabbed it in his eye, saying something about the softest organ in the body. She said, quote, "You know, the eye is the softest organ in the body. Soft as butter, you know," she said before stabbing his eye with the butter knife. He cries, and she removes both of his eyes. She then took scissors and stabbed his abdomen, gutting it open until she found the large intestine. She lifted the flesh and the guts, saying she loves macaroni art, before cutting it into small pieces. He screams and cries, still alive, begging for her to leave, to go, to get away. She finished sadly and laughed. She then broke all his fingers and toes. He chokes and pukes. She took off a finger and shoved it into his mouth. He dies choking on blood, puke, and his own finger. After the teenage bloodbath, she walks to her old room, stepping in her favorite stuffy she brought the giraffe to the family bathroom. Seeing a pocket knife and watch on the counter of the sink, she listened to the ticking for a few hours before she removed the watch face. Repeating what her doctor says about time, she dug it into her eye, using the knife to get it out faster. Her left eye was soon removed as she repeated the phrase about time. Time is nothing to be worried about. Time cannot truly hurt you. She then waited until the gap in her socket was big enough for the small pocket watch to go in. She took the stuffed giraffe, scooped him up, and cooed to him. "Hello." She then scooped the eye out of the sink and into the trash, taking the clock and putting it in her eye. "Like clockwork," she said, and took the name to herself. She walked around her house, watching as the giraffe stayed next to her in her hands tightly. Then she found a pack of matches and a lighter. She lit the matches and put them all throughout the house, starting a house fire. Then she walks out. Extra information. Clockwork has light pale skin, waist length, deep brown hair, and had brown, however now green eyes from her surgery. She wears a white tank top, gray scale hoodie, under a winter jacket with cream fur lining, which is in the inside and the hood of it, paired with black skinny jeans. She has a smile with stitches etched on her face all the way up to her ears, and wears black hiking boots. Her left eye has an open dial pocket watch that replaces her eye. Both of the eyes can glow green.